there, Wendy again. I was just this week asked a really interesting question. Um, since this year, I'm talking primarily about how to master our emotional experiences and what it takes for us to do that. And then really helping as many people as possible do that in as many ways as I can. And I was asked this question, which I spent a couple days thinking about, which is the question is, what are the possibilities with emotional mastery and why do they matter so much? And I just thought of an analogy that I want to run by you just to see, if it helps me express the way I um, feel about what emotions are and what the potential opens up for us when we learn how to work with our own emotions in a way that gives us mastery over our own, emotional experience in the moment. So let me draw you a little picture. And the picture comes about because, well, it's Canada where I am. And let's imagine that this is my driveway. Oops. And this is me with, oh, this isn't going to be so great, but let's say my driveway is covered with snow and I want to get out here to the road. But my whole driveway is just covered with really deep snow. And so I'm standing here, and what I want to be is the version of myself that's here. And so what stands between me, where I am now, and where I want to be is moving down the driveway, which is covered with this deep layer of snow. And the comparison with our emotional world, our emotional experiences, is that let's say I am the way I am right now. I've got baggage from the past. I'm looking towards a version of myself that I want to be in the future. That feels freer, that feels more in control of my life, that trusts my intuition more, that feels more grounded. That's just let's call it the better version of myself. That's living a different type of life experience than I have now. And so to get from here to here, I need to move. I have to change my position in terms of my relationship to being this person to being that person. And so there's two ways to go about it if we use the snow analogy. One is, this is my little shovel right here. I can just tackle that snow right where I am. I can only, dig up the snow where I am. I get that shovel in there, I lift it up, I use effort, and I just clear a little path for me to step forward. So I've done the work, shoveled the snow, and I've moved forward. And then I'm standing in a new place and there's more snow. And so I can use my shovel again, and I gradually, just over time, use my shovel to clear the path so that at some point I'm standing where I wanted to be, being the version of me that's on this side of the driveway rather than on this side of the driveway. And that's typically kind of how we move forward in life, is that Dr. Joe Dispenza would call it matter to matter, where I'm using a shovel, which is made of matter, to address the snow, which is made of matter, to move myself like over time forward. But the thing about having mastery of your emotions is that that gives you the ability to work with the snow and with an aspect of yourself that is so much easier and more powerful. And the equivalent to that would be, let's say I'm standing here in my driveway with all the snow, I want to get there. And rather than picking up my shovel, I realize, oh, I can just have a magnifying glass and focus the sunlight that already exists, and it will, let's say I have a big magnifying glass, it'll just shine down and melt the snow. It'll turn it into it'll transform it into a different state. So the only work for me is to stand there and focus the light, and the light itself will remove the snow right in front of me. And I can do that all the way down the driveway. And that is what, actually, I'm not sure what Dr. Joe Dispenza would call that, but it's the quantum level work. It's the work where you are changing emotional blocks, because now I'm using the analogy, rather than me physically moving down the driveway to becoming this person that's standing at this end, I'm talking about me wanting to be the version of myself that is free of all these emotional blocks that stand between me and being this version of me. And so the in deeper process, which is the way that I have over years learned to work with emotional energy, is that, let's say I try and take a step forward, and what I feel inside myself, this is the snow, is some sense of discord or fear or doubt or worry or some sort of emotional block, some baggage from the past that is between me and taking the next step. And so with the in deeper process, all I need to do is, once I learn how to do it, is close my eyes, feel for where that snow or that block is, take my awareness to that place in myself. And my awareness, the power of my awareness, has the ability to just simply dissolve that block in the moment. And I can feel it dissipate as distinctly, as tangibly as if I was walking down the driveway and the snow wasn't there, but I was standing on, the pavement. And so I'm standing in a new place. And it's the same thing inside myself, that I can start to trust that that my life, that this version of me that's standing, let's say in the future, that I want to become, is actually pulling me forward. And through the amazing synchrony of an intelligent universe, is bringing into my awareness and into my life the very things that are bringing up inside myself the work that I need to do in myself to dissolve the next piece of the emotional puzzle. And so it's a very different way of moving forward in life, is by using life to realize, oh, this is where I am. Oh, here's this pile of snow, which is this feeling about what's going on in my life right now. Oh, fantastic. So if I just take my awareness to that and I feel through that and I feel it dissipate, I'll have moved a little further down the driveway, and I'll feel different. And so over time, having this practice of just continually letting our life bring up the things we often don't like, but that will surface in the most direct way and useful way, the very next piece of our emotional pain, our emotional habits, our emotional experiences, to work on, that we steadily move forward over time, as though we're guided, as though the things that are happening to us are there for us to move through, so that by the time that we've done all that work, we become that person that we wanted to become. And so, in short, if we use that analogy, emotions and negative emotions, the difficult emotions, are the pathway, the inner pathway that's inviting us to move through them, to dissipate them, to lead us forward, to become who we want to become. And that matters because, every time we do a little piece of that work, it's like we are becoming more of the person that we really are, that we become more stable in the world. We trust our intuition. We Synchronicities happen. We feel less afraid. We feel less hindered by things that have happened to us in the past. And then again, because it's an intelligent universe that operates as a whole, when we change ourselves, we actually change the circumstances around us as well. And so we start to operate more in integration and in flow with our life, and less sort of with the shovel, needing to work so hard. It just becomes, by the time we get closer to this, it feels more magical. We feel much more part of our surroundings and part of the flow of life. And so hopefully that analogy at least gives you something to think about, and I would love your thoughts on it. Thanks. Bye for now.